Good morning, everybody. This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. I'm keeping you guys up to date on this Ukraine Russia situation in regards to Ghana and, breaking Ghanaian news, which I know is not international, but it is on my channel. Holla! I want to first acknowledge the customers at AfricanSuperstar.com. Hi, guys. Please head over to my website if you haven't. Get yourself some African Superstar X Ghana, huh? If you want to represent for the country that you love. I also want to give a special shout out to our members only and everyone who is contributing by way of our music project. So if you see the playback and you're not able to do super chats, you can hit me up with the PayPal, Cash App, all that stuff is great. Okay, the information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I also want to make a special shout out to my big sister Michelle. Today is her birthday, so we're going to turn up a little later. So much love to her. And let's go ahead and get into it. So many people have obviously been criticizing African governments for their response to evacuating their citizens, but I don't think that their efforts have been largely known. We have slammed them and criticized them and everything, and nobody's really following up. We actually have the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Her name is Shirley Ayokor Bachwe. And I think she's doing an amazing job as far as responding to the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. By now, you should know, I've covered it basically for the past several days. Russia invaded Ukraine a few days ago, and there have been a number of African nationals, Jamaicans, from what I hear, South Africans, Nigerians, a lot of Africans in the area that have been displaced. They are students. And so the Minister of Foreign Affairs actually organized a meeting here in Ghana for the parents of the students in Ukraine. So this is the last, news that came out yesterday. Yesterday, I reported on the fact that they have organized evacuation efforts for Ghanaians, and some of them have refused to come home, and some of them are choosing to stay there. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the actual article. All right. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Ms. Shirley Ayokor Bachwe, has emphasized government's resolve to ensure that Ghanaian citizens caught up in the Ukraine war are evacuated back home at will. Addressing a meeting with parents of Ghanaian students in Ukraine at the Accra International Conference Center on Wednesday, March 1st. So that was just yesterday. The minister disclosed that government has put in place measures to cover the cost of transportation, accommodation, feeding, and medical costs that will come with the evacuation of every citizen. She, however, disclosed the reluctance of some of the students to return home, including some who have been able to exit Ukraine and are currently in other countries. According to the minister, government can only provide support for such persons for a limited time, after which will be left to their own fate. While listening to several concerns shared by the parents, Shirley Ayokor Bachwe disclosed that the government has so far ensured the safe exit of some 529 Ghanaians from Ukraine. Well done, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Well done to you. Out of the number, the government earlier Tuesday received 17 students who arrived at Kotoko International Airport about 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So that's who I was reporting about yesterday. That was the very first batch. But they have continued to make efforts. They're covering busing to get people from Poland and Romania to airports and travel back to Ghana. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, among other things, stated that the government expects the arrival of more students within the coming days. She, however, bemoaned the reluctance of some students in accepting government's evacuation plans, revealing that out of some 55 students who headed to Prague from Ukraine, only 4 have expressed interest in coming back home. Okay, so I actually have the news clip, which I will share at the 7-minute mark to give other people an opportunity to come here. So this is the breaking news. The Minister of Foreign Affairs here in Ghana has said, hey, we have organized evacuation plans for you guys. And if you choose not to come home, it's going to be on you. Okay. Now everybody was slamming. Hello. Everybody was slamming African countries. You see, this is the thing that we need to be doing modern day. Okay. We need to be looking at our homeland and our people in a different light. I think a lot of the issue is we have this very tainted view of the continent. And some people that have this tainted view are not even abreast of current events. So naturally, this situation happened. We started, well, not me, but some of you started immediately slamming African governments. Oh my God, how they just going to abandon these students? How they're just going to leave them there? Blah blah blah. They haven't made any efforts. Well, that's not true. And now we see that the governments have organized evacuation plans, and now some of the students are choosing to take their own risk in the West. I don't fault the Minister of Foreign Affairs for having the attitude of, hey, you're on your own. Because if you are going to take that risk, if you're going to kind of negate evacuation during a situation like this, then I mean, you can't really expect Ghana to be supporting you in foreign lands when you were provided an opportunity to come home. So I want to again give big shout outs to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Mrs. Shirley Ayakor Bachwe. She's doing a remarkable job. I think that she immediately started organizing and getting evacuation plans together in a reasonable time frame. The situation just developed and they were spot on. So big shout outs to her. Okay. And I would say any of you guys watching this video, share it with your friends, those of you who are Ghanaians, because obviously this stuff is not going international. Probably the Americans are worried about their portion of it and they're not showing what other nations are doing during this time. So I'm going to go ahead and run the official press conference where the Minister of Foreign Affairs goes over this. Okay, so hold on just a minute. Big shout out to the African Superstar family, guys. Like the stream. This is breaking news. You only going to see it here on my channel.
And then Sumi State University. There are 2 buses that have been provided by the mission, the embassy in Russia. So they are in touch with the students. I'm told that one bus takes 45. Well, the students who have made themselves available, they are in touch with the mission. So, and I'm hoping that that is the case, because that's the information, as I sit here in Ghana, that's the information that I have. If there is anything which is not the case, please, when you have the opportunity, let us know, because, I mean, we are all working together for the same cause. So we're getting information from you, parents, being given information by our students, and then for us, from our mission. But 2 buses are going to be prepared, and I'm told that they will not be able to cross into Russia. Is that, Matilda, please come close to me. They are going to send them to Poland. It might be, and Slovakia. It might be a long journey, but that is where we are. And therefore, whatever we need to do to make sure that they are safe, we will do it. I've just had some information which says that the students who are in Prague, we have a mission, an embassy in Prague. 55 in Prague, 4 are coming on their way to Prague. Only 4 are ready to return. And so I just thought I'd let you know, like I said earlier, those who don't want to return, they will be on their own. And we cannot do much for them. We could, the Pentecost Church has given out some numbers. We could let them go there for shelter. But our response and responsibility will be for a certain number of days only. And that would be it.
Big shout out to the African Superstar family. So you actually saw a bit of the news clip from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Mrs. Shirley Ayokorbachewe. Big shout outs to her. I got to give it up because y'all was slamming my country. Y'all was slamming Ghana, all these African leaders and all this blah, blah, blah. They was right on time. They made a response within a reasonable amount of time, within a few days of the incident happening. They mobilize, they provide transportation for them to get, from the borders to the international airports and travel back. But this minister has said, hey, okay, we're organizing this evacuation for you guys. First of all, they started with a meeting in Accra for the parents of students in Ukraine, which I think was excellent. They went and, tried to measure, okay, who's out here, who's out and abroad and that kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that was some consolation to the parents as well. Okay, the government is trying to do something in this situation. So they organized the parents to find out who was where and all of that. And then they started organizing flights to the different cities, Romania, Warsaw, which is in Poland. They said that they've organized a bus in Prague. But out of 55 students, only 4 of them want to return. And so the minister is letting these students know, hey, if you decide to stay out there, instead of taking these evacuation, then you're on your own. And I completely concur. We talked about this in depth last night as to some of the reasons why the students might be choosing it. But I think it was unanimous among my viewers that it's a very unwise decision. Obviously life happens fast and it doesn't always go the way we want it to go. And, for instance, I live here in Ghana. When my YouTube channel went down, I had to start thinking, okay, how am I going to bounce back? How am I going to survive here in Ghana? What am I going to do? I didn't put myself in a precarious situation by seeing what was ahead of me and kind of ignoring the reality of it. These students are definitely going to be on their own. They're going to kind of be on the hospitality or generosity of the neighboring countries that have temporarily accepted them. And guys, can I get a trivia question? Okay. How hospitable are these people to our people? Huh? How hospitable are these people to our people? Let me get some answers. Big shout out to the family. Nikki's in the building. Shea Butter Nelly is with us. I see you there. Ingrid is in the building. Big shout outs to Ingrid. She made a point earlier that also the Jamaican students were evacuated. I did hear about that actually from my Jamaican American bestie, Nicola. She informed me of that yesterday, that the Jamaican students were also able to get out. So much love to them. Sir Patrick, my Ghanaian name is Akosia. Yes, that's my Ghanaian name. And yes, I don't know how that's related to the topic. Let's stay focused. Okay. Yes, Akosia, I'm a Sunday born. It's crazy, right? Shea Butternelli says choosing potential bombing over coming back. Exactly. And, the Ghanaian government was criticized. And that's why I'm doing these current events because people have a certain connotation. In this respect, the Minister of Foreign Affairs was doing exactly what she was supposed to do. And I also want to give her bigs up. She's a woman, you know what I mean? So she just jumped into action. I got to give it to her. She definitely lived up to her title. And this is what, government is supposed to do, which is you may not be busy every single day. You may not be called on every single day, but when there's a crisis, you need to get into action. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Shirley, she did her thug thizzle. I'm very proud of her. Okay, so the trivia question was, how hospitable are these nations to our people? Okay, because the students that are refusing to evacuate, they're going to be on the mercy of these countries that are currently housing them. Okay. And if they think they're going to get all the sympathy and all that, and that it's going to last, they're sadly mistaken. Ukraine has actually, Russia is occupying Ukraine at the moment. They got all their tanks in there. the people have evacuated. They're in the lands. We don't know how long this situation is going to last. We don't know if this situation is going to escalate. I have to say that choosing to be in that environment, even in border countries, you're not really safe, because let's be real. Okay, Poland and Romania border Ukraine. It's just a few miles away. So if this situation expands, and again, I encourage you to know your history. All the world wars were fought in Europe. Okay, if you've ever traveled through Europe, if you've ever been to the UK, if you've ever been to Germany, there's actual museums and things like that that shows the damages that they incurred during these world wars. It's no joke. Okay, it's nothing to play with. There's a word called casualty. Okay, there's a phrase called casualty of war, which means you become a casualty. You become another person who has been affected, killed, maybe dismembered, whatever, as a result of this situation. So the minister, I will play the clip again at the 20-minute mark. Today I'm talking about this current event. So I'll read the actual press release for you guys that are just coming in. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Alexis, I see you in the building. SMP, that is our mission statement: strategy, maturity, and patience. You would not be exercising SMP if you choose to stay in Europe, a part of evacuating, when your government has provided you a flight home, provided you, means and everything. So this is the breaking news. All right. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, her name is Mrs. Shirley Ayokor-Botchway. She has advised students that are refusing evacuation, you'll be on your own if you refuse to come back home. Okay. I'm going to run the clip at the 20-minute mark. It goes as this. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Mrs. Shirley Ayokor-Botchway, has emphasized government's resolve to ensure that Ghanaian citizens caught up in the Ukraine war are evacuated back home at will. Addressing a meeting with parents at Ghanaian students in Ukraine at the Accra International Conference Center on Wednesday, March 1st, so this happened yesterday, the minister disclosed that government has put in place measures to cover the cost of transportation, accommodation, feeding, and medical costs that will come with the evacuation of every Ghanaian citizen. She, however, disclosed the reluctance of some students to return home, including some who have been able to exit Ukraine and are currently in other countries. According to the minister, government can only provide support for such persons for a limited time, after which they will be left to their own fate. Big shout outs to the family. Please like the stream if you're coming in. While listening to several concerns shared by the parents, Mrs. Shirley Ayokor-Botchway disclosed that the government has so far ensured the safe exit of some 529 Ghanaians from Ukraine. Big shout outs to Mrs. Shirley Ayokor-Botchway. The minister is on task. All right. Out of the number the government earlier received on Tuesday, 17 students who arrived at the Kotoko International Airport about 7:30 a.m. So that's who I covered the story about last night. That was the very first batch of the evacuees home. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, among other things, stated that the government expects the arrival of more students within the coming days. She, however, bemoaned the reluctance of some students in accepting government's evacuation plans, revealing that out of some 55 students who headed to Prague from Ukraine, only 4 have expressed interest in coming back home. Okay, so that's the current situation. That's as of yesterday. I don't understand either. I mean, and we talked about it last night. I had a live stream. We had a lot of people call in. Ghana is not uninhabitable. Certainly not to the point that you would choose to remain in a potential war situation over coming home. I do realize that the Ghana of yesterday had some pretty, strong situations that went on. I understand there was like a famine in the 80s. I understand that there was like military control when J.J. Rollins was in power. But the Ghana of 80s is not the Ghana of 2022. Okay. And your life and safety is paramount. All right. And these parents going to meet the minister in Accra goes to show that they want the safety of their children. Okay. I mean, why would they meet with the minister if they didn't want their children to come home and their parents to be safe? So a lot of the things we talked about last night may not even be valid. You know, if the parents went and met the minister and said, hey, my child is in Ukraine, I'm concerned, then that says to me that they want to know what the government is going to do or offer. So big shout out again to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. She's on her task. I'm going to go ahead and run the clip and then we will wrap up. I'm going to run the clip of the official press release.
And then Sumi State University, there are 2 buses that have been provided by the mission, the embassy in Russia. So they are in touch with the students. I'm told that one bus takes 45. Well, the students who have made themselves available, they are in touch with the mission. So, and I'm hoping that that is the case, because that's the information, as I sit here in Ghana, that's the information that I have. If there is anything which is not the case, please, when you have the opportunity, let us know, because, I mean, we are all working together for the same cause. So we're getting information from you, parents, being given information by our students, and then for us, from our mission. But 2 buses are going to be prepared, and I'm told that they will not be able to cross into Russia. Is that, Matilda, please come close to me. They are going to send them to Poland. It might be, and Slovakia. It might be a long journey, but that is where we are. And therefore, whatever we need to do to make sure that they are safe, we will do it. I've just had some information which says that the students who are in Prague, we have a mission, an embassy in Prague. 55 in Prague, 4 are coming on their way to Prague. Only 4 are ready to return. And so I just thought I'd let you know. Like I said earlier, those who don't want to return, they will be on their own. And we cannot do much for them. We could, the Pentecost Church has given out some numbers. We could let them go there for shelter. But our response and responsibility will be for a certain number of days only. And that would be it.
All right, guys, big shout outs to you. That again was the official press release of the Minister of Foreign Affairs here in Ghana. She's on task. She has organized evacuation plans for the students affected in Ukraine. They've sent planes, they've sent buses, they're accommodating with food, housing, and medical medical expenses for them. And she has officially said, hey, if any students are refusing evacuation, you're on your own. You're on your own. The Minister of Foreign Affairs also organized a meeting in Accra for the parents of students in Ukraine. So she's on task. Okay. So all of y'all that was talking stuff, please do send this video to anyone that you know that was slamming the government. Oh my God, these countries, Africans backwards. Oh my God, why they don't do. She's on task. She's on task and within a reasonable amount. The invasion happened 3-4 days ago. So they've already evacuated students as early as yesterday. Okay. And I did actually see a official letter requesting for the parents of the students. I saw that on the day that it happened, actually. So, I would say that the Minister of Foreign Affairs was on task. She's been doing what she's supposed to do. We don't celebrate the things that our people are supposed to do, which is part of the problem. We only want to talk about what they're not doing. And I also want to say that the Ghana of 2022 is not the Ghana of 1980. For all you old school, back in the days, Africa is terrible. Why would you want to go there? Okay, it has changed in many ways in the past 30 years. In the past, you know what I mean? Certainly, my generation wouldn't be attracted to the continent if it was desolate, if it was ruined. I would encourage you to expand your mind And I would encourage you to be abreast of your homeland. And I would encourage you to celebrate the wins, because this minister, she did what she was supposed to do. She understood the assignment. You know what I mean? So I am keeping up with this situation as it unfolds, as it pertains to Ghana naturally. You know what I'm saying? I'm on task. We don't see what's happening with our particular situation in the mainstream media. I do understand that Nigeria has also evacuated several hundred of their students. I understand that Jamaica has also evacuated their students. So, you know, we are seeing responses from our countries, and I have to definitely congratulate them on being able to get something into place and respond within a reasonable frame of time. I do have another live stream tonight at 6 p.m. GMT. Okay, we're going to talk about why are Africans desperate to stay in Europe when other people are flocking to the continent. So we're, you know, I'm really coming to the conception that it's not even about the reality of being here. It's a mentality thing, and we need to kind of deconstruct this thing and figure out how to do this. So we're going to talk about this tonight on my live stream. So you guys make sure you set your reminder so you don't miss it if you're able to come or you see the playback. Big shout outs to those of you that are here today. Please make sure you support the stream, okay, so we can get our next music video out, shot and out. I want to definitely do that. I would say if possible within the next few weeks. So we need to pump it up, pump it up. Okay, so until I meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.